Hello, and welcome back. It's a bit snowy, but in this special, I am going to be seeing if I can take the covers and foams from a 4-door seat and refurbish a 2-door seat. If you like it, give me a cold hand thumbs up. If you don't, and you can't turn it on, give me a cold hand thumbs down. There we are, there's a big snowflake on the lens for you, look at that. If you want to subscribe, down below, it helps the old YouTube algorithms. If you want merch, yeah, I've got this multi-tool, I've been told. Now, it is a multi-tool. It's a bottle opener and key organiser. They're in the description below the video. You have to go onto YouTube on your computer, I'm afraid. If you want to contact me, Church House Classics, it's all one word, @gmail.com. And if you fancy buying me a pint or just donating to the channel, then there's a PayPal me link down here. Anyway, enjoy the video. Okay, so this is a 4-door seat. It's out of a 1990 VM 4-door. Actually the VM 4-door that donated quite a few parts to Project Haggis. And obviously the 2-door seat is going to be coming out of Haggis in order to refurbish. Now, the attractions of this are the car was low mileage. It was terminally rotten. Don't start kind of stopping. We can't save every single Range Rover. I bought this from Tim Hammond. It's on YouTube. I'll put his link to his YouTube channel in the description below. But he's very good at the used parts. But overall, even though this is a driver's seat, it's in really good condition. All the piping and everything around the edges is in good order. The foam and the covering, there's a bit of an oil stain there, we'll get that out. But overall, it's in really good order. And on the back of the seat, you don't have to move these around. The back covering, again, a bit of oil on there, a bit baggy there, a bit of fabric glue perhaps, but nothing that can't be removed. Now, how do I strip these down? I've done a couple now. Best place to start is actually on the undercroft. I'll turn the whole thing right over. That's why I've got my workmate here, so I can actually balance it on the edge here. Now, the foams themselves are held on really, basically. There is literally just a plastic strip that's attached to the cover, which just clips over metal rails at various points around the seat. We don't need to take an enormous amount of stuff off this seat, but we will need to take the seat belt off. We need to take the I guess the pumpy bits, this lever here that allows you to tilt and what's his name the seat. You can't have that bit on the 2-door frame that I've been able to see. That bit needs to come off. That doesn't fit on the 2-door frame. These two pieces here that go over the hinges need to come off. So let's stop gabbing on about it and get on with a practical demonstration here of how to do this. So we've got just a couple of screws hold these corner pieces in, and then there's a plunger which is actually broken off this one. But once you've done that, this bit comes off. The plunger is there and it just sits in, it just plugs into the side of the seat, glues on like that. So that's one of those. I might speed some of this stuff up, we'll see. If we get any banter going, and obviously, hello, come on. If we get any banter going, then I'll keep it going. Now, what might be easiest is to take the seat back off first of all. Two screws and a plunger, which comes off like that. Ta-da! I'll keep all the 4-door parts separate from the 2-door parts, because believe it or not, these bits here are different on a 2-door seat. When I say different, they've just been attacked with a Stanley knife by someone at the factory. It's all very amusing. Seatbelt. Normally 3/4. No, it's not this time. Oh, dear, sorry, snippity. Well, I mean, it was bloody snowing for crying out loud. Right, seatbelt was 11/16. When I did the passenger seat, I've replaced the diaphragm on the bottom of the seat as well, because the one that was on the car, bear in mind the passenger seat was the driver's seat, so it was more worn. But I'll show you how the diaphragm comes off this frame as well. There's the seat belting mountie. I might just blow my nose in a minute, 'cause it's going to get irritating otherwise. I actually don't mind it when it snows, because when it snows, first and foremost, the wind drops. But also, and here's the paradox, it feels like it warms up. I don't know, maybe I'm nuts. Well, I know I'm nuts. That's not difficult, it is. Oh, good Lord. Right, so the little handle comes off here. Like I say, this is just a tilty handle, and it should wiggle off. He comes off like that. And then we've got the wheel for the recline mechanism. Now, this is exactly the same on the two-door seat. So what we basically need to do, small flat blade screwdriver goes in and pops the cover off, little round cover. Then underneath the cover, you will find and if I remember rightly, without looking at it, a 10mm nut. As opposed to a 6'3" nut. There we go, got a bit of banter throwing, blowing already. And then the nut goes off. And the wheel comes off. That's all there is to it. On this side, this piece of trim here is literally just clipped on. So just pull it off. Like that. It's got 3, 4 of these kind of crimp things. It just clips onto the edge of the metal. Don't need that for the two-door conversion. Right, let's turn around now and I'll start to show you how the seat base cover comes off. So what we've effectively got now is everything is out of the way. I'll just take that seat belt bolt out there, so everything is guaranteed out of the way. And what we've basically got here, like I said, these clips, they go all the way around. And what you do is just put a bit of tension onto the fabric and then it comes off in your hand. Be careful not to kind of break the clip. They are sewn onto the fabric, so the only thing that I've seen happen is they break along the top edge here when cack-handed people have been on it. Oi, I resemble that statement. Now, the bits on the side literally just come over the edges, which they have done there, that's good. In fact, that was bent there. So I think that's going to go on a bit better on the two-door frame. Along the front here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 5 tags. They're part of the frame, but all you need to do is just bend them back. Like that. Hopefully you can see that. If you can't, I'll bring you in for a clap. Like this, see? I've just bent them back because that tab was holding, clamping the fabric against the frame. Right, you bugger off back over there again. Make sure you can still see. You can. Let's tilt you down a little bit, there we go. Right. Now, it's just a case now of walking around the edges, releasing the fabric, releasing again. When this comes off, I'll show you what is underneath it. Again, it's more of that plastic strip stuff. See? They've just sewn a plastic strip onto the fabric here. I mean, I guess if you wanted to put leather covers onto your manual seats or cloth covers onto your electric leather seats, it will work in exactly the same way. And obviously you're going to have the issue around all the electric motors here. But there's no reason why you couldn't retrim your leather seats with fabric or vice versa. My Range Rover L95, I actually had teddy bear cloth seats in it, very, very similar to this. I think they were a slightly lighter shade. It'll probably grey rather than the tan colour, the Westminster grey colour. But I had an option whereby I had 2 complete sets of the grey leather, and I managed to make 1 set of seats out of it, which I then put onto the car. I thought, it's got to be a good thing. It really has got to be a good thing. But to be honest though, leather's kind of cold in the winter and hot in the summer. I do like the cloth seats. But it's not very Range Rover, is it? Right, we'll go the right way up now. Now what we can do is pull the cover up. Now the cover's going to come off with all of the foam. So all of the foam is around the seat. Let me just go like this for a second. I'm going to put him upright in a second. All of the foam comes off as well. In this one, yes, it is coming off. There's just a little bit of glue been applied here. What I might do is recline the seat. So I have to put the wheel on, I'm afraid. I'll recline the seat right back because it gives me a bit more space under here. Right, and we'll pull the back of the seat forwards. We'll go onto the side. Is coming off, pushing it up from underneath. There it goes. And the whole thing then comes right off in your hand. Ta-da! There we go. That, my friends, is the seat cover. Now, that piece there has broken off from there, so don't worry about that for the time being. Again, it's driver's seats. They do tend to get worn a bit more than the passenger seat. However, two-door frame is actually a passenger seat, or was a passenger seat. Now, that's the whole of the seat base and its foam off. We don't do any more dismantling on this. We'll just dust some of the crap and bits out of it. I'll give the seat a damn good valet, clean the oily stain off it. But that's as far as it goes. Now, when it comes to these bits here, they're attached, sewn onto these bits here. As you can see, that one, nice and wide. This one, less so, because it's half broken. I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem because the seat is actually well sculpted anyway. So we'll pop this over here. That's the seat base foam, which I'm going to keep. One common fault you will find on Range Rover manual seat frames is they break here and here and allow this piece to wobble around. Now I can tell this is a really low mileage car because it ain't broken. But anything that seems to have done over 100,000 miles invariably has broken. Right, when it comes to the diaphragm, it's easier. It's actually easier than falling down the stairs because all you need to do is pull the clips out. One. This one's going to come out. My fingers are cold. This one's going to come out. And this one. This way around. Once it's out, the hooks on the front edge of the frame actually go through from the other side, and it's just that little bar. All right. So if you're wondering where on earth the diaphragm hooks onto the front of the frame, you need this bit. Probably make it out a bit cleaner, I guess, but that'll be what you're missing. And at the back, just 3 hooks. So snowing. And here we have one intact, very nice, original seat diaphragm, MTC 9931, and that will be, if the one that's in the car is shagged out, then I'll put this one in. Right, so everything we need off the seat base now. Now we need to work on the seat back. So what's probably going to be the easiest way of doing this is I'll put the seat into the upright position again. You see how the mechanism for the wheel works across two gearboxes. One gearbox there, one hex shaft, two hex shafts, which goes to another gearbox at the back there. If you find your seat does not recline, it's because it's broken here and the hex shaft has come out of this gearbox. You've seen how easy it is to take the seat base off. Now, then you can do that and fix it. Now, there's a scuff on the arm rest on this, which Tim did tell me about. So I'm well aware of that. Now, on the seat back, we need to remove this piece off the back here. And there's a couple of secret screws. So, we'll go upside down first of all, we'll go for the obvious screw. There's 3 screws along the bottom edge here. They're just normal crosshead screws. It doesn't even feel cold enough to put the heater on in here. The knuckles aren't blue. That's what I mean about when it snows. It's weird. It just seems to warm up. It was -4 yesterday. God, you remember as a kid you used to pretend you were smoking. No, when I was a kid we did smoke. Now, the 2 hidden screws are actually, there's one about there and there's one on the other side. What you actually need to do is pull the fabric back from the board. Sometimes it comes off easily. There we go. And all I'm doing is just hooking it because it basically goes in and behind the board. And once you kind of get a little piece in there, you can just unhook it and there's the screw. How about that? This is the same for any of these seats with this style of backboard. Quite why they just didn't put a screw through. I mean, it does look tidy the way it is. And you shouldn't need to take this back panel off, really, should you? Right, quite long screws these ones. Quite why they're long, I don't know. Right, I'll give you one. No more boxes yet before you start half-winding thinking this is boring shit. Well, if you're here and you got this far, you're actually interested in why the seat covers, or how the seat covers fit on. Yeah, this one's coming up quite easily. Or you're just here to watch or listen to the banal commentary, or you're waiting for me to stab myself with a screwdriver. Here comes this one. Now once these 2 are out, I can take the whole backboard off. And what I'll do is I'll pick the best of the 2 backboards, but I think it's going to be this one. Now that's as easy as it gets, taking the backboard off. You don't need to have taken the seat foam off. The whole backboard now, ta-da! And there's no mice nest in it. Oh, there has been a mice nest in here. Bastards. 30 little bastards. Should be fucking Al Deliveroo, I tell you. Right, now at this point, if you wanted to, you could peel all the fabric off and use something like a Martrim high temperature glue in order to glue the fabric back on there. And I might end up doing that with both the seats. And I'm going to get some cleaner onto that as well. Trouble is when you get oil on fabric, you don't want to start smearing it around. You want to lift the oil out of the fabric. Otherwise you just end up with a bloody great smear. Pardon me, hickety-upsies. No, that's good. I can go up there. Right, now, here we can see Little fucking rodent damage. Bastards. I mean, I don't know what they get out of it, in all honesty. Little twats. Now, to get the seat back off, foam off, is more or less exactly the same. Let's get a bit of light over here. More or less exactly the same as the seat base. It's the same principle. I'm just looking for my light. Silly arse. I don't know if you can see it nicely or not. I need to get better lighting in some areas of this workshop. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Right. A wee bit of light. There we go. Right. So we got the plastic strips down here, exactly the same as we have with the seat base, along here and along the bottom. On the 4-door cars, they have a couple of clips here. Now, these clips don't go into the same place on the 2-door cars, so just bear that in mind. But you need to get the clips off. The easiest way to do that, after I've had a slurp of coffee, tend to use, actually there's right. Tend to use my brain to open the cabinet before I try and yank the doors open. Old wood chisel. Before you start screaming blue murder about me using an antique wood chisel, I've had it in my workshop forever. Just get the edge of it and tap it off gently. Now, these things will have been there since this seat was built. So try and tap it off with it attached to the cover still. And then when it's off, because they stick to the fabric, I'm afraid, and there is a danger you're going to tear the fabric when you get them out, because they've got little barbs on the back of them. That's coming off. There we are. So he's off. He's got a little barb on the back. It's a fairly common fabric clip. I've got boxes of them. And on the fabric here, you can see that the rust has transferred across to the fabric. So you just want to be careful, really, I think, that you don't tear the fabric. And all I'm doing here is I'm just prizing it open, and then I should be able to ease it away from the fabric. I suspect on the 2-door seat I'm going to have more problems here because I think the fabric will have deteriorated more. But there it is, it's off. And no damage to the fabric. And those rusty clips can go in the bin. What do I do with the chisel? I can't see the chisel. Oh, there it is down there. Exactly the same. Just putting it onto the edge of the clip like that. Easing him off. Oh, it's actually in the door now. I left the door open because the missus is out walking a friend's dog at the moment. The friends have gone down with the COVIDs. And they've got a little Welsh sheepdog. It's only a pup. A fucking lunatic pup though. Right, now they're off. Now, all I really do here now is lift these plastic bits off all the way around. Let's do this one first. Just being careful because I don't want to break the fucking thing. I've got to stop swearing, Richard. There's no need for that. There was no need for profanity there. This one down here is a little short one. There he is, he's off. We're off down that side. And then we're off over here. That's off. The reason they put this gap here, by the way, is because the fabric, the seat fabric goes around the armrest. You can see there how that goes around the armrest. And you don't notice this gap here normally because the seat back goes over it. It's a shame the fucking rodents are doing here. I mean, look, they've been over the twine and everything. Bastard things. Owl food, that's what they are. Right, now we've done that, we need to roll the seat or recline the seat backwards. because, or just to get it upright really. Because we need to work from the base of the fabric and work our way upwards. Now, there is a loose piece of foam there, so don't worry about that bit because it will come out. And I think that's where some of the models had a lumbar support in the seat back. You see, all I'm doing is just pulling it away. Pulling it away, pulling it away, pulling it away, pulling it away. Oh, that's caught there. Oh, one thing I forgot. It's loose on that side. On the bottom corner, around here, that piece of piping there is actually held in with 2 clips. So 2 clips on the frame that hold it into place. And all I do is just bang the fabric out of them. So there's the clips. All right. But before I put it together again, I will open these clips out like that, put the piping through it, man it on the outside. Timmy, as he's known. Oh, that's just whatever possessed you to say that. Right. Now, we've got the majority of the fabric out. You're going to think that these little headrest bungs on the top here, can you see them? Let's go up a little bit. You're going to think these 2 little headrest bungs up here are just pull out. I have not yet found a way of getting those out of the seat frame. I think what they do is at the factory, they bang them in and they have clips or barbs inside them that just you just can't get them out of the seat frame. So I leave those as is. That's the lumbar foam that I just mentioned to you about. Get yourself a nice long screwdriver. We're not talking vodka and orange yet. I don't know what I've done with my fucking screwdriver. Oh, we'll have another screwdriver, Richard. Yes. Nice long screwdriver. And then what I actually do is, with the foam kind of coming up, I get the foam, so the fabric, first of all, I'm just walking it out of the bugs. It's easy on that one because that was already broken. But I take the fabric through, first of all, just walking it around, okay, both sides. So the fabric now is on the other side. And there's enough give in the fabric. I don't know what you would do with leather, because I think leather might be a bit tougher. When you've done that, then what you need to do is the foam needs to go through as well. So now you need to work under here. Just pull this right up. That's right up now. I'm going to get in there. And again, it's a bit of a faff. It's worthwhile being patient with it and not stabbing yourself, because ultimately it comes through like that. And then exactly the same with this one. I just need to lift the foam up a little bit, and then under here, I mean, obviously I'm being very, very careful with these frames because I'm going to speed or time lapse the 2-door frame. I want to just show this one first of all, because this is the cover that I want to keep. There we go. Right, now this can come right off. And you see these fellas, they go right the way through. And there's a spring there which holds the headrest in place. And I just don't know how they come out. If anyone knows, drop it on the comments. But what we've effectively got now is exactly the same as with the seat base. We've got the complete fabric and the foam in really nice condition. How about that? Armrest is a piece of piss. So I want to take it off as well. Now the armrest itself is actually held on by, it's actually held on by 2 bolts. There's one bolt at the top, 1 bolt at the bottom. I need to get probably a ratchet spanner in there. There we go, 1/2 inch ratchet spanner. Hang on to the bolts, hang on to the frame. I'll show you how to fit these back onto the 2-door. I'm going to see if I can fix this armrest as well while I'm at it. That comes out of there, 1 bolt, other bolts. Comes off there, and that is the armrest, and that's how it comes off. Okay, so it comes off with that whole swivel and everything. I think when it comes to trimming these up, that's the joints there where they're trimmed. It's stapled or pinned or something. We might have a go at refurbing this, because if I can get this cover off intact, I can perhaps use some fabric, perhaps from a seat back that's quite baggy, and take the fabric off and recover this. We'll see. So that's quite a nasty gash there. Not the best. I was aware of it. Not the end of the world. 1 bare driver's seat 4-door frame. Don't need that. That can go in my pile of interesting bits. Might be making some workshop chairs for it. Oh my goodness. Hop, 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 hop. Right, now I'm going to put the radio on and put you on time lapse. Okay, so you've seen me strip down the 2-door frame, and I got a few issues with this aside from the fucking little migrating Portuguese spider that was in it. Anyway, that's gone. It's broken exactly where I said. So effectively what's happened is the frame has fractured there along a weld, and you can see how that is just completely loose. It's something that I have seen fairly, it's fairly common. On this side over here, you can see the weld is still intact. Over here, it's broken both sides. And I think it's because of the weight that goes on the front of the seat, and it just puts strain on that joint. I welded up the other side. Bear in mind, this car's done nearly 200,000 miles, or this seat's done nearly 200,000 miles, I should say. Well, along with the rest of the car, but just, obviously the 4-door frame came from a very low mileage car, and this is a high mileage car. So really, I had to take the diaphragm out because otherwise the diaphragm is just going to distort what I've got. But watch, I'm going to replace the diaphragm anyway because it has disappeared. It has been taken. Here it is. You can see it started to tear. So it started to tear there and there, and if it starts to tear there and here, then it's not long for the world. So I might as well put the other diaphragm in. That one, because I know that one's good. Come from a nice UK market car where it's not been tortured by I know the Portuguese have the same sun as we do, but for some reason the Portuguese sun's a little bit hotter than our sun. Now the other thing I noticed while I was here is there's a spring missing. There's the hole for it, and there's the thing. I can't remember if there was a spring in that location on the other seat. I'm going to assume there was. Luckily I've got a frame over there, and I've got another 4-door frame down there that I can rob the parts from. This front piece here is also a bit buckled up around here. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But it'll all be fixed as part of the job. Now, do I weld today? Can I be asked to weld today? What's the weather doing? Here I've got the little, I haven't got the fanny blower on because I was, what are you talking about, Richard? Big blower on because it's quite scenic really, isn't it? It's warmer out here than it is in the fucking barn. I do find it amusing, well, it amuses me anyway. It's the peace and quiet you get when it snows, because all the echoes just disappear. Right, as you can see I've turned stag around because I didn't want to fill my workshop up with fumes, but the stag's been out in the snow today. It's all melted now in here. Right, so let's get this frame sorted out and ready to go back in again. I am going to weld today, I think. Just get on with this thing. What time is it now? It's 20 past 12. Let's get the welder up.